What's happening, people? It's the games we are playing. Um, so this, I guess, the idea for this comes from a lot of the hype, and maybe not hype, the genuine development of AI through games like chess and Go. The most recent one being Go, and perhaps there was a strategy game. I always forget the name of it. I don't play strategy games. But it's the idea that our body, our hands and the things that got us to this level of development, of evolution, at least for work, we are delegating this to machines. We're becoming more specialized in our roles. I'm just trying to get the camera in the right place. All right, so yeah, AI and machines, robotics are now taking over that role of doing things, the activities, the motor skills that we have. And of course now our machines, they need new challenges. And I think the logical next step is things like sport and perhaps entertainment. These become new frontiers for the development of machines and also the AI, the intelligence, whatever you want to call it, that runs these machines, that makes them as autonomous as we can make them and still do the task that we want them to do, at least for now. So I mean, if you're a creator and the field you're in has reached a plateau, then you search for new challenges. You search for that next deliberate practice or next doorway into something new where you can learn more. And so these designers, these creators, they will look for new ways to test their machines, their creations, to provide lessons for them, essentially to take these machines to school, and their school is becoming the games we play, from chess to Go and Jeopardy, the obvious ones, the famous ones in recent years, but onward, I think, to things like football and hunting, and that is a very new field. It's a door to something that's potentially very dangerous. If you look at the games that machines have mastered so far, we're looking at essentially board games in many ways. Even this strategy game, like computer strategy game, I can't remember it. I used to play Age of Empires when I was younger, and Command and Conquer, Tiberian Sun, and they were the early incarnations of these strategy games. They've gotten a lot more complicated, but I think still essentially they act as board games. And these board games have turned out to be relatively simple. Underneath it all, it's open to brute force methods and simple tactics. And I would imagine that I think what I just said would be debatable by some. I think most board games right now would be an AI could beat a human, pretty much in every board game. Once it has the rules and it knows what win and lose is, I think given a year, it could beat us, even less than a year. So it is inevitable that we seek out new games and new challenges, new problems. And if this genre of games has reached its limit, then we automatically go to new territory. A new territory that has within it the need for greater awareness, greater skill, things like abstract reasoning. There will be abstract games and games that require more generalized intelligence. And again, that is a source for pretty amazing development for any kind of organism, and potentially very dangerous for us. And why would we ever stop this process of continually maxing out a field and then moving on to the next one? I mean, that's what we do. That's what living things do, and we are very good at it. Why would we stop? And I think that question has answers. It's not necessarily rhetorical. It's not something that it's something that we don't have to answer. but I think in not answering it, that is our answer. I think the answer comes from our morality and our values and the choice of direction for our species. So if we don't answer it, then it's a reflection of our morality and values as a whole, as a group. And perhaps that just doesn't exist, at least not to a high enough degree that we can posit an answer to that question. Yeah, why would we stop? I think the question that would come up to that question would be, what do we want? If it's about a direction, if it's about values, then what do we want? What do we desire as a species? Yeah, I mean that's the big one. So I think that's a big question in the next 20 to 30 years. What do we want? We, with capital We, the royal we. So I think if we don't answer it, there's a chance that we kind of design and optimize ourselves out of a purpose, out of a reason for existence. We just constantly beat ourselves. We beat ourselves by creating something that is better than us. It's a strange thing, continuous specialization until we have no value. Yeah, so that's another path. But the games we are playing, in many ways, are the games we are losing, and deliberately so. That's an interesting thing. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.